Hello everyone, welcome to my channel What I Think of. So what I think of UFC 267 YanBłachowiczVsGloverTeixeira versus Glover Teixeira. So I will first talk about early prelims and then we'll move forward. The first match in early prelims was between Teixeira Ulanbekov and ALLAN NASCIMENTO. Wow, it was a ground game fest. It was a clinching fest. It was a jiu-jitsu fest. This match was the school of grounding game if you want to learn anything about ground game. Absolutely brilliant. Both of the fighters were so good in the ground game. Hardly one or two punches thrown by either guys at one another. It was 98% clinching, locks, Kimura lock and arm lock and triangle and guillotine, whatever. They were so good. In the first round, Ulanbekov put a guillotine lock on NASCIMENTO and NASCIMENTO somehow came out of it. And in the second round, NASCIMENTO put a Kimura lock or arm lock. I think it was a Kimura lock. And Ulanbekov easily came out of it. Both were so good in the ground game. Unbelievable. But in the end, what happened? Ulanbekov won. And why he won? He was over the top of NASCIMENTO all the time. I don't know why NASCIMENTO did not realize that he is letting Ulanbekov over the top of him. Throughout the match, at 75% of time, he was flat on the ground. NASCIMENTO was. And Ulanbekov was over the top of him. And even though NASCIMENTO, while being on the flat on the ground, threw punches and elbows at Ulanbekov, well, see, you let your opponent on the top of you, he is going to win. So it was a split decision by judges. And Ulanbekov won by whisker. But that whisker was what? He was over the top of NASCIMENTO. But it was a very good ground game fight. I loved it. Okay, next fight in the early prelims was between Hu Yaozong and Andre Petroski. Why I laughed? Andre Petroski won easily. In fact, he hammered Hu Yaozong. Unbelievable. It was a complete one-sided affair. I would not rate this too high in favor, this match too high in favor of Andre Petroski, because you know what? Hu Yaozong went there to just get hammered. I mean, he did not do anything at all. And Andre Petroski went all over him, hammered him, so many heavy punches. But immediately when the first round started, Hu Yaozong kicked actually Andre on the face, but at the same time he got slipped. And from there, that point onwards, it all went down the hill for Hu Yaozong. Unbelievable. Totally one-sided affair. I don't know. Well, one could say, the resilience of Hu Yaozong, he took a lot of hammering and from the hands of Andre Petroski. But you know what? Wow, why you went there? If you did not have any game plan and you just went there to get hammered, totally one-sided affair. I cannot rate that too much high in favor of Andre. It was an easy meet for him. And one more thing I forgot. In the end, not even Andre Petroski hammered Hu Yaozong, but in the end, he finished him by submission. He did an arm choke. And at the very last moments of third round, he made him tap out. An absolute dominant performance by Andre Petroski. Okay, the next match in early prelims was between Makwan Amirkhani and LERONE Murphy. First round was completely dominated by Makwan Amirkhani, took LERONE down and stayed over the top of LERONE. But then second round started, and I think in 14th second of second round, Amirkhani tried to take LERONE down, and he went down and and he got struck by the knee of LERONE. I mean, commentators there, when the fight was live, they said, "Oh, LERONE did a very good knee and knocked him out." I think it was not an intentional knee. That's it. I think LERONE was trying to hit a kick, and Amir Khani at that time, he just went down to take LERONE down, and at the same time LERONE was about to make a kick on Amir Khani. So he came into that knee, and it was accidental knee of LERONE that knocked out Amir Khani. So commentators were saying, "Oh, very good, LERONE knocked him out." No, it was an accidental knee when LERONE was about to make a kick on Amir Khani. Amir Khani at the same time, he was halfway down there trying to take LERONE down, and he came face to face with his knee, and Amir Khani knocked out completely, and LERONE won by knockout. So this was the story of this fight. Okay, the next fight in the early prelims was between Shamil Gamzatov and MICHAL OLEKSIEJCZUK. That fight ended in first round. MICHAL OLEKSIEJCZUK hit Shamil with the left uppercut from hell, and Shamil Gamzatov got knocked out and immediately went down. And then MICHAL OLEKSIEJCZUK pounded Shamil Gamzatov 3-4 times, and there you go, referee stopped the fight. So it was a vicious left uppercut from hell from MICHAL that really knocked Shamil out, really. The fight ended in first round. Good job by MICHAL OLEKSIEJCZUK. It was a light heavyweight bout. Very good fight. It was a dog fight, I would say. Towards the end of the first round, the fight ended when MICHAL OLEKSIEJCZUK knocked Shamil Gamzatov, knocked him off. But prior to that point, it was a dog fight. Shamil Gamzatov also landed some punches, throughout the first round. But right at the end of the first round, that vicious left uppercut, wow, that did the job for MICHAL.